Let's get ready. It's going to be Will Campbell. And you guys aren't going to love this, but I think it's going to be okay. I'm not saying the pick's in.
Right.
But this is what I'm expecting, right?
I am too.
And what you get with Will Campbell is a guy that walked into LSU at the age of 18 and won the starting left tackle spot. And his freshman year, he allowed 2 sacks. His sophomore season, he allowed 0. His junior season, he allowed 2. In the SEC, facing Texas A&M, South Carolina, Alabama, Texas now, Georgia. We're going to see all these guys taking on the defensive line. That's who he faced. He's battle-tested. He doesn't meet the measurables that you want when it comes not just to arm length but wingspan. But because of his athleticism, he can get it done at left tackle for a season. How the Chiefs at the end of the season said, Joe Thuney, you're playing left tackle, we need to do that. That's what it'll be for this year. Break glass in case of emergency. Then you get your offensive line situated, and they move him inside to left guard. No matter what, look, you don't have to love this pick. It doesn't have to be great. It's okay with fine. And
it's safe.
He's now the best prospect, not named Ashton Ginty. And Ginty wouldn't make sense. Same thing, Mason Graham wouldn't make sense. And even Jalen Walker, all right, he's a tweener of an edge rusher. Wouldn't make sense. So if it is Abdul Carter, I expect it to be Abdul Carter. If it's, if it's Will Campbell.
Will Campbell.
I expect it to be Will Campbell. I will be shocked if it's not. I'll have more on it, but it's the right pick.
Okay, let me throw a couple curveballs here because all the accolades you gave Will Campbell playing in the SEC, so did Armand Membu.
Yeah, at Missouri.
Kelvin Banks.
Yep.
I mean, there's other tackles here, measurables-wise, arm length, the things you want to check every box of a tackle. These guys do in Membu and Banks.
Yeah.
Could there be a curveball here where they take a tackle, but it's a Membu, it's a Banks? That's something we need to discuss before this pick is in.
It'll be Membu if it's not Will Campbell.
Okay.
Kelvin Banks is good, but his balance isn't the best. He kind of bends at the waist a lot, and he ends up on the ground.
All right.
You can't do that in the NFL. Will Campbell has great balance, great athleticism. Armand Membu, 6'4", 330, 33-plus-inch arms, so strong, athletic freak as well. 4'9", 140 is what he ran. And this is a guy that hit a growth spurt going into his junior year of high school. Walked in, and the coaches were like, okay, you're going on the offensive line. Got to Missouri, and they were like, oh, we're going to put you at right tackle. And he got there because their left tackle couldn't make the move. Really natural athlete all around. All right, picks in.
All right, here we go.
It is Will Campbell.
Yes.
Number 4 overall, as we expected. Will Campbell going to the Patriots. This is the right pick. 6'5", 315, freak athlete, 3-year starter since he stepped in as an 18-year-old at LSU, wore the number 7. And look, he's good. He's good. He is good. And you have to love that as a Patriots fan. Everything you were hearing coming out of that building, he basically aced the test. When it came to the top 30 visit with the Patriots, checking all the character boxes as a leader as well, on top of all his play, elite athlete, and basically this is it, Trav. When you hear offensive line coaches talk about technique, fundamentals, how they explain it, that's how he plays. Flat back, good posture, wide base, athleticism, smart hands, really good at recovering, keeps his center of gravity, mirrors edge rushers. You don't have to coach him, essentially. So he will likely be the left tackle unless they go with a tackle later in the draft. We could talk about that. But look, this is your 12-year starter on your offensive line. For your right-handed quarterback, he will play on the left side.
Yes.
Drake Maye last year, Will Campbell this year. Look, last year was you got your steak. That's Drake Maye. Will Campbell is the sides, the greens, whatever you like, the asparagus. Down the road, you'll get your dessert. Will Campbell is 1,000% the right pick. The Patriots sticked, they picked, they got better on the offensive line, and now right to left, it's Morgan Moses, vet, Mike Onwenu, vet, Garrett Bradbury, vet at center, then it'll be Will Campbell or Layden Robinson, and then Will Campbell at left tackle. This offensive line got better. The team has gotten better just with their first pick.
It couldn't get any worse. I'm so happy to see Will Campbell, and I like the way you worded it, an offensive lineman for 10 to 12 years because we do believe eventually he'll move to guard, but that's okay. Listen, I know when you take someone at 4, and we talked about this in the first segment, look, you want someone who's a bookend tackle for X amount of years. He may not be that guy. However, you're taking him at 4 here. He is going to be an elite guard if you move him inside eventually. If he has to be a spot starter for a year or 2, to your point, that's okay too. He's going to be just fine. And I brought this up earlier. I still think culture-wise, as you're trying to establish a culture and build a culture, This is the kind of guy you need. He's an absolute dog. He's a leader. His teammates love him.
Yeah.
He's played on the highest level, the biggest stages. I think he's going to be just fine, George.
Dude, the culture was rock bottom in this one.
That's
like
right.
it was absolutely like bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
And this is a guy that will walk in.
Yes.
And he will be that
He's
alpha.
a Vrabel guy.
Yes, exactly. And like to say Mike Vrabel is in love with Will Campbell is putting it lightly.
Yes.
Swooned, smitten, head over shoulders, in love, like just this is everything, man.
Yes.
And this is a guy that's going to be a future face of the franchise, along with the Drake Maye, again, for the next 12 years. Like, he's going to take them into the next decade plus. It's not the sexiest pick. You don't have to love it. Just like it. It's fine. And I understand the shorter arms, and that definitely is an issue. His wingspan is what gets me, 77 and 3/8 inch. So we could talk about tackles with short arms. Tristan Wirfs, 80-plus inch wingspan. Because when you're an offensive lineman, you want to get your hands on the guy first. It's like boxing.
Yes.
But if you can't get your hands on them first, you at least want to be wide. So it's hard for them to get around you. That's why wingspan matters. He doesn't have the wingspan of an offensive tackle. Like, it just doesn't pan out. Joe Thuney, sub-80-inch wingspan. Peter Skoronski, sub-80. Gray Zabel, sub-80. Left tackles or offensive tackles that got moved inside. Same thing will be with Will Campbell. But, man, this guy, he's an absolute stud. Elite athlete, great balance, agile lateral movements, patient with counter moves, great recovery to stay on pass rushers, quick processor. How bad was this offensive line against stunts, blitzes? Remember the Jets game? What was that, week 4? They couldn't diagnose a simple stunt. He can do that. So amazing leader, 2 sacks, 18 pressures allowed, and almost 600 pass blocks in this past season.
It's interesting, leading up to this pick, we were talking about a scenario of if they didn't go Will Campbell and they went a different offensive lineman, Armand Membou came to mind. Why do you think ultimately they did decide the Will Campbell? Was it maybe the culture aspect of this that we keep talking about?
Yeah.
That's the guy mentally you want to bring in. Was it more experience? I know you had said Membou's is more of a raw prospect and needed to be coached up and a little more refined and polished.
Yeah.
Maybe Will Campbell further along in that process.
Yeah.
Why do you think they went Campbell over Membou here at 4?
Best offensive lineman.
Okay.
Best offensive lineman. Membou's the best tackle, and he also played right tackle. We never saw him play left tackle in college either. So I think that's the big thing with Armand Membou. So he's great. He's polished. Well, he's a little untapped with his potential. But I would have liked Membou. I think he has the athleticism to move to the left side.
Yeah.
But I think it's a character thing. And Mike Vrabel said it earlier this week, leading up to the draft. Hey, whoever we take in the first round, there's going to be a lot of pressure. You need someone to be able to handle that. How is he performing every week? He understands what it is like playing in this market. Will Campbell can handle that pressure.